Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guy, and this is episode number 16 of the 3D platformer series. And in today's video we are going to improve our environment lighting, which I already, as you can see, have done here. And our game looks quite interesting now, and you can see that the shadows and everything is looking pretty nice. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So what we need to do right now is well, I need to show you how you can make such a good looking scene as well using the HDRP render pipeline provided by Unity. So as I have already implemented it, I'm just going to show you the values that I have used and you should use as well in order to create this scene. So first of all, what I have done is I have gone ahead and added a directional light in here, and we had the environment volume in the last video. Firstly, in the environment volume, you can see we already set up the HDRI sky in the last video. So in this video, I have added this exposure here. So just go under add override and choose exposure. It should be there if you haven't added it. And all this does is that if I turn it off, you can see our scene looks very dark. So I'm going to turn it on, and all it does is that it basically handles the exposure. So all you need to what I have done is I have set the mode to be automatic. Curve mapping and physical camera and fixed are also options if you want, but just set that to automatic. And I have set the compensation to 1 to make our scene a little brighter. So if you set it to something like 2, then the scene will be a lot brighter. We don't want something that bright, so this looks pretty awesome. So as I have also added a directional light here, and if I open up that directional light, you can see that in here in the shape you can change that, by the way, if you want, but I don't think we are going to change this anyhow. Anyways, in the celestial body here, I have left all of the settings as default. In the emission, I have set the temperature to be uh, 5500 actually, and I have set the temperature to be that. And for the intensity, I have just go ahead and choose direct sunlight here and choose high sun in here, and that should give you a like sunny looking thing, or you can choose cloudy if you want that. I am going with cloudy actually because I think that looks a little better. You can choose whatever you want. And just these are some really great values, so you don't have to type them yourself. So just choose cloudy or high sun or low sun or whatever you want, and choose the temperature according to that as well. If you choose something like candlelight, it will look really weird, but if you choose something like blue sky, then it would look like, well, blue sky. So yeah, you can set it to whatever you like. Anyways, in the volume, I have leave all of these as default as well, but in the shadows, make sure that you have enabled the shadow mask so that shadows actually exist, and make sure that the update mode is set to every frame. And you can also turn on contact shadows with whatever you want for the actual quality. And that's it for our lighting, and with that we have got this beautiful looking scene here, which is pretty awesome. Now, one effect I will like to add is, because this video is a really short one, I actually wanted to implement the visual graph with the trail for the rocket using a visual graph in this video, but I quite wasn't able to get that working. So I suppose that there will be another video for that. But in this video, I want to add a feature. I want this guy here to be rotating, so it will be rotating very slowly. That is nothing too obvious or in the face, but it will add a nice little effect. So if I go under my environment volume and I go under my HDRI, if I go under my visual in my HDRI sky, you can see we have got an option here for rotation. Now I can use this oh, by the way, one more thing, in the HDRI sky I have set the intensity mode as lux and the value as 5000. You can set it to 6000 if you want. That makes the thing a little more brighter. Anyways, just set it to whatever you want, and in the rotation, you can see now I can change that in order to rotate my sky around. So that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to use this rotation value here to actually change the actual rotation of the sky. So in order to animate the sky, I created this new script here called sky rotation, and all it does is that it has a serialized field for the volume that we will actually be modifying, and it also happens to have another serialized field for the speed of the sky and another serialized field for the update interval. Now the reason that this update interval exists is because we can't just keep updating the sky because that would cause a buffer overflow and we will keep getting warnings in our console. Even though it's nothing that serious, we should still avoid that. For that reason, we have a little bit of delay between when we actually change the sky's rotation. So this update interval will determine that, and we can set it in the inspector, and it's in seconds. And we have got a private float here called the time since last update. So when we last updated or rotated the sky, that's the time since that. Now in the update method, what we do is that we use the volume dot profile property in order to get the profile, and then we use the try get method on that to get the HDRI sky here. So we are using an out variable to get the sky, and we also make sure that the time since the last update is greater than or equal to the interval of the update. And if that is the case, what we do is we just the sky dot rotation dot, you can use override here, and or you can just say value is equal to, you can also do that, but we are going to use the override method. And you can pass it with the time dot time property, so in order to get the actual time since the game has passed, and multiply that by speed, and that should rotate the sky. And then make sure to set the time since last update to 0 because we just updated. And each update we are also going to say time dot last update plus equal time dot delta time. Actually, I'm going to add that under an else clause, even though it doesn't really matter. I'm going to add that under an else clause. Now this will update our sky. This will rotate our sky at this update interval. And in the Unity scene here, I have added this sky rotation script to my environment volume, and I have dragged this volume in the volume property. So just go ahead and drag the volume in here, and I set the speed to 2 while the update interval is 0.075 seconds, which is a pretty good amount for an update interval. Now if I go under the scene and hit play, but you should see that our sky rotates and we do not get any warnings at this, at least for my computer. We don't. You might want to have it at 0.1 seconds if you want, but you can see that the sky is very slowly rotating. It is not very smooth, but that's the best we can achieve without sacrificing performance or something. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to end this video here. We will implement the visual effects graph in the next video, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.